So, good afternoon class. Yung mga hindi na makakapag-join sa Google Meet, nag-send ako ng live stream sa YouTube. So, pwede nyo siyang i-click para sa mga hindi na makapasok. Okay? So, start na tayo in a while. Ay. Hi guys! Good afternoon. So, 100 lang kasi yung capacity ng Google Meet. So, I sent you sa monitors group, no? Parelay na lang dun sa mga group chats nyo na meron tayong live stream sa YouTube. If ever na mawala kayo dito or yung mga iba hindi nakasya, pwede sila dong manood. Okay? So, yan. Start na ako ng recording. And then, start na rin ako mag-share ng screen. So, good afternoon. Pasend na lang nung link para sa mga hindi makakapag-attend sa Google Meet dahil 100 lang yung capacity. Naririnig ba ako, guys?
Opo.
Okay, sige.
Opo, ma'am.
Opo, ma'am.
Nakikita na yung screen? Nakikita yung screen, guys?
Opo. Yes po, ma'am.
Okay.
Opo.
So, start na tayo, no? So, good afternoon again. This is Professor MJ Calinaw. So, today, our topic is all about time value of money. So, our learning objectives here is to explain the effect of interest on payment streams, compute the future and present value of single amounts, and compute the future and present value of annuities. And our reference is the time value of money table. So, I appreciate if you could bring your calculator or kahit sa phone na lang para mas madali nyo ma-catch up yung computation for the future and present value of single amounts and annuity. So, here we have a payment stream na sinasabi dito. So, makikita nyo, there is 3 category of payment stream, which is number 1 is through a single amount, number 2 is a series of payment, and number 3 is any combination of both. So, let's talk about interest. So, interest is a compensation or rent paid to the owner of cash for its use by others over time. So, example neto, no, if ever na lalagay ka ng pera sa bangko, kapag nilagay mo yun doon sa bangko, magkakaroon siya ng interest. Okay? So, right now, ang interest ng bangko is dati 0.0125%. Ay, 0.125%. Ngayon, hinati na, 0.0625 na lang. So, ganun kaliit yung interest kapag maglalagay tayo sa bangko. Pero at least, meron pa rin tayong nare-receive na compensation. So, bakit ba tayo nagkakaroon ng interest? Pwede din na nagpautang tayo, 'di ba, sa kakilala natin. And then, pag nagpautang, syempre, doon na nilalagyan ng interest. Additional compensation siya. Dahil pinagamit natin yung pera sa kanya. Bakit ba tayo naglalagay ng interest? Kasi imbis na gamitin natin para sa sarili natin, pinahiram natin yung pera sa ibang tao, okay, or sa ibang kumpanya, or sa kahit sino man, para sila yung gumamit. Okay? So, bakit natin pinapatungan ng interest? Kasi may kinalaman yun sa time value of money. So, sabi dito, ang money or ang pera natin is nagiging valuable through time. Okay? Kaya maganda din yung mga sinasabi natin na hanggat maaga pa, kailangan talaga mag-ipon tayo dahil ang pera, wala yun sa laki na kinikita, kundi kung ano yung disiplina mo sa pag-save ng money mo habang maaga dahil ito yung tinatawag natin na computation para mas dumami pa, okay, yung ating interest in the future or yung tinatawag natin time value of money, present value, and future value. So, yan. So, yun na. Future value, value in the future of a payment stream with the effect of interest included and expressed as a single value. So, di ba, nagpautang tayo, di ba? So, in the future, may certain kasi na period kung kailan magbabayad yung pinautang natin or kung kailan tayo naglagay ng pera sa bangko. So, ang effect noon, ang tawag dun is future value dahil, syempre, iba na yung magiging value ng pera natin in the future compare doon sa initial amount na nilagay natin sa bank or pinautang natin sa tao. So, for example, 10,000 ngayon, di ba? Pero, what if ang future value niya on the next year is magiging 11K? So, example lang yun ha. So, ang 11K is the future value kasi it includes the interest expressed in a single value. So, yan. So, eto, what will this dollar be worth 1 year from today? Okay? So, meron tayong tinatawag na computation, future value, assume some rate of interest. Depende rin yun sa rate na binibigay mo doon sa pinautang mo. So, sino ba yung magde-declare niyan? Kadalasan kasi yung economy, 'di ba? And, syempre, i-add mo pa yung inflation doon. But, syempre, ito, yung mga 8% per year, mga nasa 8 to, siguro 8 to 12% yung pinaka-regular interest rate. Pero, nasa sa inyo yun, 'di ba? Nasa pag-uusap yun or sa contract nyo kung magkano yung interest na ipapatong. 'Di ba yung mga Bombay, sabi nila, 5-6, parang ganun. So, medyo mataas yun, 'di ba? So, depende yun sa pinag-usapan nyo na contract kung magkano yung magiging interest. Pero, ang normal interest rate is ranging, is hindi pa baba ng siguro 15%. Ay, hindi tataas ng 15%. Ayan. So, dito, ang interest rate is 8%, 'di ba? Paano computein? Kung may $1 ka daw, ita-times mo lang yan times 1. Ito yung 1 is the principal, which is, ito yon. Okay? Yung principal amount natin, which is fixed. And the interest, kukunin natin yun dito sa 8%. Okay? So, the future value after a year, is 1.08 dollars. So, yung $1 mo dati, okay, is after 1 year, magiging 1.08 siya. So, ganun lang kasimple, guys. So, any amount times 1 plus interest rate equals the FB after 1 time period. So, example naman dito, kung $500 naman ang iyong pera at ita-times natin yun sa interest, which is 1.08, magiging $540 siya. So, hindi nyo masyadong makikita yung effect, 'di ba? Pag konti lang talaga yung pera nyo or one-time payment lang kayo nagbabayad. So, mararamdaman nyo siya through time kasi syempre, nag-accumulate yung ating pera. Okay? So, this year, $500. Next year is $540. So, meron tayong profit or interest na $40. What if $12? So, ganun lang ulit. Ita-times mo lang yan sa 1.08. So, ang pinapakita lang ng table na to, class, is kapag mas mataas yung pera, syempre na nilagyan mo ng interest, mas malaki din yung magiging interest amount na marireceive mo. Okay? So, yan o, 15,560 times 1.08, nagiging 16,805 siya. So, future value, kanina pinag-usapan natin is 1 year, 'di ba? What if 2 years from today? So, nadadagdagan. Siyempre, may mga ibang company or mga ibang tao na hindi naman after 1 year makakapagbayad. Minsan, 2 years, 'di ba? So, repeat the process for each interest period, which is 1.08 times 1.08 is equal to 1.17. Dalawang rate na yung i-apply natin. Same lang yung amount, okay? Yung amount is variable natin siya. Changing variable siya. But itong ating future value na interest rate, which is 1.08. 1 is the principal, which is fixed. And 0.08, depende yun sa interest na gagamitin nyo. Pero ang ginagamit pa rin natin is 0.08. Kita times nyo lang yan, class, sa 1.08. So, ang interest rate na ita-times nyo after 2 years is 1.17, not 1.08. Okay? Intindihan? So, ayan. Ganyan siya. Year 0, 1.08 times 1.08. Okay? Ayan. Madami siya. So, yan. Padagdag lang ng padagdag. So, interest rate is 8% per year. Interest earned. So, habang patagal ng patagal din class yung kita nyo, yung pag-iipon nyo, 'di ba? Lumalaki yung interest rate. Pero yung inyong ininvest na pera is just the same. So that's the beauty of the time value of money. Okay, wait lang. Sorry for the interruption. So, yun class. Take note of this This is not a ano lang haka-haka, but it's a fact na hindi alam ng mga tao na pag mas mahaba sila nagsisave ng pera nila, okay? Which is mas mataas din yung nagiging interest earned. So yan, if maaga ka nag-save ngayon, mas makikita mo siya in the future dahil yung interest earned is tumataas and yung interest rate na pwede mong i-multiply dun sa iyong principal amount. But the principal amount is just the same. Hindi ka nagdadagdag ng pera, hindi ka nagbabawas, pero patuloy ang pag-earn ng interest mo. So, present value. So, ano namang ibig sabihin ng class ng present value? So, it means that the value today of a payment stream with the effect of interest removed and expressed as a single value. Ito naman, kapag tinanggal natin yung interest, ano yung magiging present value ng pera natin? So, rule number 1. Okay, a dollar received today is always more valuable than a dollar received in the future. And a dollar received in the future is always less valuable than a dollar received today. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ano ba talaga? Diba? Parang medyo may mali. So, ang ibig sabihin lang niyan, okay, is, for example, class, pag may na-receive tayong pera dito, pag may na-receive tayong pera ngayon, okay, mas valuable siya. Ibig sabihin, mas marami tayong mabibili ngayon kaysa marireceive natin yung dollar in the future. And if may ma-receive tayong pera in the future, hindi na siya ganun ka-valuable than a dollar received today. Parang binaliktad lang siya. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung nakukuha nating pera ngayon, class, mas marami tayong mabibili compare bukas or sa isang araw or sa isang taon or after 10 years. Dahil, bakit? Mas mababa kasi yung bilihin ngayon. Okay? Mas mababa yung inflation ngayon compare sa future. So, yun yung trend ng ating economy, no? Talagang, through time, pataas din ng pataas yung bilihin. So, present value. If this dollar is received in 1 year, what is it worth today? So, to compute PV, or the present value, divide by 1 plus the interest rate. Kanina, nag-times tayo. Dito naman, magdi-divide tayo. Okay? Kasi, ang sinasabi lang neto is, if ever na magpapautang tayo tapos hindi natin lalagyan ng interest, mababa yung value ng pera natin. Okay? Kaya nagkakaroon ng future value na tinatawag dahil kailangan talaga tayo magpatong ng interest. But may mga may mga assets, 'di ba, na ginagamitan ng present value kasi hindi naman talaga nag-earn ng interest 'yon. So, kailangan nating i-apply yung present value. Ibig sabihin, if yung $1 na to is received in 1 year, what is it worth today? So, dahil may 8% na interest rate, yung $1 mo, bumababa yung value, nagiging $0.93 na lang. So, example, okay? Any amount divided by 1 plus interest rate equals the PV for one time period. So, just the same, kailangan mo lang i-divide, okay, with 1.08. 1 is principal, it's fixed, and 0.08 is depending on your interest rate. And the 500 is the changing variable. Okay? So, ano yan, self-explanatory na yan, self-calculated. So, it means na kapag present value, bumababa yung value ng pera natin. Pero pag future value, tumataas ang value ng pera natin. So, paano ba i-computein yung present value? It's a discounting, diba? Discounting method. So, ginagamit ito sa mga discounting, okay, or reducing payment streams to their present value is called discounting. So, for example din ginagamit din to sa mga may loans. For example, what if magbayad ako ngayon? Hindi ko na bayaran on the next year yung mga utang ko, ngayon na lang. So, nagkakaroon ng discount. Ibig sabihin, tinatanggal yung interest rate, okay? Iniiksian yung payment term, kaya sabi ko sa'yo, diba? Reducing payment stream to the present value is called discounting. So, syempre, hindi mo nababayaran yung interest rate on the future kasi nga, kaya mo na siyang mabayaran ngayon. Kaya, dinidiscountan yung maaari mong ibigay na pera na may kasamang interest. So, ito, it's a single amount, present value, and then future value. Pero ito, okay, if this is the future value, what if magbayad na ako on the 3rd year? Hindi ko na paabutin ng 4th year, diba? 2nd year. So, ito yung ginagamit natin na formula, itong present value. So, the more time periods, the higher the future value. And the more time periods, the lower the present value. So, a value after 1 year, so, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, class. Huwag kayo masyadong malito. Higher the future value, the more time periods. Siyempre, mas mahaba tayo makakapag-save, di ba? Pero kapag the lower the present value, di ba, the more time periods. So, value after 1 year is 50 times 1.08 is 54. Pero ang value after 2 years is 50 times 1.0 times 1.08 is equal to $58. So, ito naman, rule number 2. The more time periods, the higher the future value, and the more time periods, the lower the present value. So, ito, present value yung ina-assess natin dito. If 1 year, okay, yung value ng pera mo, magiging $46 yung marireceive mo dapat. So, bumaba siya. Value today, if received in 2 years, okay, kung marireceive mo pa siya in 2 years, $43 na lang ang iyong magiging value ng $50 mo. So, rule number 3, the value in the future is always higher if the interest rate is higher, and the value today is always lower if the interest rate is higher. So, let's have this example. So, 5th year principal and the discounted principal. So, itong blue is our 5th year principal. Okay, the green is the discounted principal. So, this is if the rate is 8%. So, this is the table if the rate is 25%. Much smaller than at 8%. Let's see the graph again So, nakikita nyo, pag mas mataas din yung interest rate na ginagamit natin, mas maliit yung discounted principal na nakukuha natin. Take a look at this. This is 8%, and this one is 1.25%. Okay? So, we will need to discuss also the compounding. So, ito, mas mataas to sa future value. Ito yung maganda pag nag-invest tayo kasi it's the compounding interest rate. Okay? The computation of interest and the addition to or subtraction from the principal. So, lumiliit yung principal amount. Pero, lumalaki yung interest natin. Nagko-compound siya. Kaya, mas mataas yung nagiging value ng pera natin in the future. So, the more compounding periods, the higher the future value, and the more compounding periods, the lower the present value. So, inversely proportional sila, guys. Yung future value and the present value. So, let's take a look at this example. If you have $5,000 saving deposit that pays 4% per year, compounded every 6 months, this is it. 4% divided by 2 is 2% per 6 months. So, 5,000 times 1.02 times 1.02. So, the answer is 5,202. So, this is the formula, which is future value. Kailangan natin i-times, okay? Multiplication yung gagamitin natin. Compounded every 6 months kasi. So, yung 4%, hahatiin lang natin yan sa 2 kasi it's annual kasi, 'di ba? Kapag 1 year. Pero pag 6 months, divided by 2. So, that would be 5,000 times 1.02%. So, let's take a look at this example. Ito naman is quarterly, guys. So, 5,000 savings deposits pays 4% per year. So, if every quarter, 4% divided by 4 is 1%. So, we need to compound it by multiplying 1 times 5,000 times 1.01 times 1.01 times 1.01 times 1.01. So, take a look at the compounding word. So, gagamitin natin yung compounding na formula if may compounding na word dito sa ating problem. So, next, our objective is to compute the present and future value of single amount. So, financial calculator also can be used, but mga accountants kayo in the future. So, ayan. Pwede na yung mga pantindahan na calculator, no? Yun yung ginagamit sa board exam. So, time value of money tables provide a shortcut to the computation of present and future value. Siyempre, ayaw naman nating magta-times dyan, di ba? Kung sobrang daming compounding interest rate. So, baka malito tayo. So, pwede niyong gamitin itong future value table. This is just the same. So, at 3%, the value of $1, so sabi dito, di ba? At 3%, class, ito, yung may tinuro dyan. So, 1.1255 yung interest rate na gagamitin nyo. Pero, I suggest, no, huwag kayong mag-relay sa future value table kasi sa board exam, hindi naman tayo makakapagdala ng table. Ayan. So, ang gagawin, mas maganda yung nagma-manual payment kayo para alam nyo nagma-manual computation kayo, no, para alam nyo kung paano computein at hindi kayo mag-rely sa table. For this one, you can also use this. Siguro, pwede nyo memorize yan, di ba? Para mas mabilis. So, as 3% daw, the value of $1 in 4 years is 1.1255. So, ito lang, 3%, which is, andun yun sa column. Then yung row, itapat natin sa 4. So, ang magiging rate natin is 1.1255. So, if you want to compute the future value of single amount, so we have the table, 6% at $1 is 1.3382. So, therefore, if you want, sabi ko nga yung ating $1, it's just a changing variable here. Pwede nyong palitan yan any number you want. So, 10,000 times 1.3382. So, your money after 5 years with the compounding interest is 13,382. So, ang laki din ng ng na-save nyo. Parang may additional kayo 3,382, which is around mga 40% na rin. 35 to 40% na profit. So, this is the present value table. So, pag present value table, syempre discounted amount tayo dito. So, 2% value today, you will receive after 5 years. So, ang magiging rate mo is 0.9057. Payment stream is a single amount. So, you just multiply it, okay, by the interest rate, which is the discounted amount, which is 8.8227. So, yung 10,000 mo, what would a promise to receive 10,000 in 4 years? No compounding viewers today. No compounding yun na, single amount. So, compute the present and future value of annuities. So, annuity is a series of equal payments paid or received each time period. So, a common example of an annuity is an installment loan payment such as an auto loan with identical payments every month. So, this is the annuity. So, ito naman, kailangan mo lang kasi mag-allocate ng equal payments for each period. So, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, magkakaparehas na payment ang kailangan mong bayaran. So, let's take a look at this one. So, this is the annuity payment and this is the discounted principal. Okay. So, the future value tables of an annuity of $1 table below gives future values of various interest rates and time periods. So, at 5% class, the value of $1 annuity for 5 years is 5.5256. So, ito yan. So, column ng 5% and row ng 5 years which is 5.5256. So, if you want to have a computation, ang sabi dito, an annuity would be worth, so may 1,000 tayo times 5.4163 is equal to 5,416.30. So, si Tony kasi nag-deposit siya ng $1,000 per year in a savings account that pays 4% annually. What will be the value of the deposit be in 5 years? Okay, so, dati kasi, class, kita nyo, single payment lang kasi siya. Diba? So, dito naman, tawag dito is annuity. Ibig sabihin, naka-installment plan siya. Nung kanina kasi, parang buong variable yung kinocompute nito. Ito, naka-single. Ay, tawag dito, naka-breakdown yung kanyang principal. So, 1,000 lang talaga yung binabayaran niya every year hanggang sa 5 years. Pero, yung interest rate niya is same, which is 4%. So, the present value of an annuity then, same. Okay, class? Ang kailangan nyo is hanapin yung 4% value of $1 for 4 years, which is 3.6299. So, just multiply it to $1,000 or depending on the variable nyo na amount. So, ang magiging total is 4,212.40. So, reference, the time value of money tables. For quick reference, the following sites are time value of money tables. So, I'll be sending it for your reference also. Ayan. So, that's the end of our chapter. So, just take a look lang talaga dun sa mga words na ginamit natin, diba? If present value siya, future value, annuity, compounding interest. If joined ba siya, diba? If installment yung payment, so, yun. And then, makakatulong din sa inyo tong table, which is, yan, isasend ko naman itong PowerPoint presentation sa inyo. So, that would be our discussion on time value of money. Magbe-break lang tayo ng 10 minutes, okay, for our next topic. Kasi isusunod-sunod na natin yung lessons dahil malapit na yung inyong exam. And late na rin tayo nakapag-start. Ayan. So, thank you, class. We'll be back at 12:45. Sige, 15 minutes na lang. Ayan. Para we'll be back at 1 p.m. for our next discussion. I just need to end the presentation here. Okay, so bye-bye. See you at 1 p.m.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Pero hindi ko na siya i-close. Dito lang kayo. Mag-mute lang ako. And I'll be sending another video dun sa Studio Live natin sa YouTube.